Hello there, everyone. Let me first, like usual, now it's picture, not paid video. So yeah. Anyways, well, actually, I made the thumbnail by now and the pictures of them. So yeah. But anyways, I just want to say this real quick. I made a video. I made this part two, and I cursed too much in it. So yeah, I deleted it. Um, I. Mm, so yeah. But anyways, we're just gonna get into this right away. So yeah. Anyways, let's just this is what Deku was Jeff the Killer, part two. Yeah. So as last time we left off is Nezu, sent Jeff got the saying he's in UA and Nezu wants to speak to him 2 days before, UA. He comes in. So yeah, so basically Jeff says, huh, well, at least Sally's safe. But now I have to go find Lazari. Hope she's alright. I mean, I've been looking for her for the past ever since I was 5. So, uh, almost 10 years. Wow. It's 8 or 9 right now. So, anyways. So, he goes out. He basically says, hey, Mom, I got into. As he just sees Inko crying on the couch. He goes, Mom, are you okay? Sorry about my stomach. It's just really hungry. I have not eaten anything yet. I mean, I ate something, but not something because it did not fill me up. So, Inko though, she just says, it's it's nothing, dear. He sees the picture and he goes, what's that? So Inko just says, all right, I didn't want to keep this a secret from you, but it's more of a reason why I also have to. He goes, okay, can you tell me? She goes, it's I had another family. Well, I mean, by that I mean I had a husband and a son once, and well, the day I found you was the day I got out of the hospital for uh, something. As sheesh, I need to eat something now. All right, my stomach's growling too much. I'll pause this, grab something quick too, and I'm gonna still be hungry. So no. So Jeff goes like, wait, when you found me, you were in a hospital. You just came out of, and she goes, mm-hmm. He's why? As Inko just says, holds her right shoulder. Or... Sorry about that. That was the phone. No, it really wasn't no one important on it though. So yeah, some automated machine. But anyways, so he just said, he just looks at her and he goes, all right. I want to know more truthfully, but I can tell it's hard to talk about them for some reason. She goes, thank you. And he goes, anyways, I got into UA. And she looks at Jeff. Her eyes, are, lit up like fireworks just happened. She goes, really? He goes, yeah. I mean, got first place. He just holds his thumbs up and says, it's pretty awesome, right? She goes, yeah. And she does ask though, your eyes though. He goes, oh yeah, they like to have burns around it, right? A little bit of burn marks. She goes, yeah, I've been wondering about that. I mean, you told me about your smile that you carved into your face, and now it just came on to you automatically. But the eyes, you're able to still blink. And he goes, yeah, I got that back when I was immortal. When I became immortal, healing factor kicked in. She goes, wait, what? He goes, yeah. I mean, I'm not able to blink. Really. I mean, I have not blinked since. Actually, when was the last time I blinked? And then he just blinks. He goes, "Oh yeah." Ever since I came here, I've been blinking. So since I came here, she goes, "Wow, that must have hurt your eyes." He was like, just have to basically put a few eye drops in, sleep with a something covering your face. Well, more like covering your eyes, and then you're good." It does technically. I did technically was not blind. More like I just used my knife, had something hot, and she goes, "Oh yeah." Somehow that worked. But he just says, well, anyways, um, remember we gotta go over to Bakugo's place. I see. He goes, he goes like, I basically goes, as Jeff just basically mocked him by doing the stance of Bakugo, as Inko just laughs. She goes, all right, well, we can have a dinner there. And he goes, oh yeah, if Mitsuki looks weird, don't. And she goes, Jeff, I know what you did to Mitsuki. It's fine. It's just I'm gonna have a little talk to Bakugo. As Jeff, for some reason, has fear. He was like, "Oh God, I've forgotten this feeling, but this is fear. I am afraid for him." And then he just smiles. He goes like, "And I, and this is why." He says, as he says to himself, he goes, "And this is why this is my. I love that my mom. Well, I love this this world's mom of mine." So yeah. So, they get ready, they leave, they get over to Bakugo's place. Mitsuki gets to the door, basically, and, well, it just goes like this. Mitsuki blushes as soon as she sees him. She goes like, hi, Inko, who's this? He goes, oh, I forgot, I never told you. I mean, remember how I said Izuku changed? Since the last time when we talked. She goes, yeah, is this, well, she knew Izuku when he was like a little kid, when he still like when he was 4. But after like the whole entire like incident, like she has never seen him, and Cole only talked about him, so like the whole entire Jeff name thing changed. And but Inko never said anything. She goes, "Oh, my apologies. I also forgot to tell you, we changed his name to Jeffrey Midoriya." As then her eyes lit up, and when she said Jeffrey, or she goes, "Oh, Jeff," and you go, and then she goes, "I mean Jeffrey," and he just basically like what that was. Mitsuki and Coach says, "Mm-hmm," and Mitsuki's just thinking, "Oh no, I," as Jeff, as she can just see him just being calm, cool. Her face though says everything. You know, he's just looking at Mitsuki. Her face says everything. She is scared for some reason, and he looks at his mom. And then Inko looks at him and just nods, and she goes, and then he just kind of chuckles. He goes, who knew Bakugo's mom could be afraid of mine? As Mitsuki just says, you have no idea how terrifying she can be. As Jeff just says, yeah, I don't. But anyways, hi Mitsuki, how have you been? As he holds out his hand, they shake, and well, Mitsuki's husband comes over. He knows she's acting weird. So he comes over and sees her face is blushing a little bit more. He looks at Jeff and he was like, who's Inko? Is this, Zuko? She goes, but we changed his name to Jeff. Jeffrey. And he goes, oh, can I talk to you for a minute? So yeah, they go outside. He explained, he asked why he knows what he did. He said he did it too when he was a kid. Well, basically a teenager when he was bullied. Well, technically he was in college, and he met his bully's mom. He dated her for a while, and that was it. So he was like, in his mid-20s when he was in college. So he was like, oh, okay, so you're not mad. And he goes like, no, I understand the feeling. Just don't do that again. He goes, I won't. It was only a one-time thing, man. And he pats him on the shoulder. He was like, besides, that was just payback on Bakugo. The rest of it, that was only one thing of payback. The rest of it, it's going to be just me whooping his butt in UA. That's all. He was like, alright. So, yeah. So basically, Bakugo and Inko go into another room. They hear her screaming. And, Mitsuki and her husband goes just side. And then, Inko comes back. Bakugo comes out beaten and bloody and bruised. As Jeff just laughs at him. So, Inko goes right to the kitchen, washes her hands, starts to get ready to cook, and Jeff just ties his hair in a ponytail and then just gets on an apron, just starts cooking, which everyone is shocked. And Missy comes help, So, um, they asked why, you basically came over here and just wanted to make dinner. He goes like, oh, I got into UA, which everyone's shocked. And he goes, so we're celebrating, he says. And Nico just agrees. They did say they were going to be coming over. They made plans to, but since it was just like, cooking, they say, like, we knew you didn't come over, but why you came over to start cooking? So, yeah, that's what I meant. So, anyways, yeah, so, they all eat after Bakugo gets himself bandaged up and has, like, a new shirt on. And, well, yeah, so, after that, after them eating, they leave. Mitsuki just says, can I speak to Jeff? Jeff just says, sure. So they go outside, and Mitsuki's husband just says, oh, this is gonna be funny. Which one goes like, why? He says, no reason. She was basically what this happens with Jeff and Mitsuki. She goes, why did you not tell me who you were? He goes, why did you think I came over? Like a random stranger come over to your house. She was like, everyone came by and visit and tell you I was trying to get in UA. Well, I already took the entrance exam and all, and she was like, yeah, but why? This happened. Why did you do what you did? It was, Bakugo, payback. Come on, I mean, you should have put the two and two together. Bakugo isn't a nice guy. I mean, no offense. If he gets that from you, then, I mean, you're a nice, person and all, but Bakugo, too much in his own head. Thinks he's the best. When someone could easily just come around as and all of a sudden a knife appears, and he's hit in his hand, and basically he's holding it like the tip of the blade on one finger. Basically, it's like he's him just balancing it. He was like, "Can come by and slit his throat in the middle of the night." I mean, did you ever wonder as the knife disappears, why he kept on having these words villains, I'm a villain in his room, like all around the walls as and then he says, heck, he even was on his arm with one, like he still has that scar of it on his arm. Just wait, that was you? It was like, no, but yes, I gotta say this right. I have my quirk. It's called Psycho. It's more than one. It's like more than one quirk, but it's really just one with all these different properties. I figured out that I can project my madness onto somebody without enhancing my own body and my physical capabilities. She goes, wait, what? He goes, so really, I had to be in the room to do it. So Bakugo did that to himself, called him a villain. I brought out his worst fear. That's all I did. But, I mean, it's easily for him to. But yeah, as Bakugo was walking by when he heard this, he was like, wait, what? Me afraid? He slammed the door open and said that. He was like, of course, you're afraid of being a villain because of your quirk. And so you use fear to make people stop doing that. Or should I say, never do that. As Bakugo was like, you damn nerd. He was like, yeah, I'm a nerd who has a very powerful quirk than you. He was like, wait, you have a quirk? He was like, yeah, did you not hear me? I got into UA, and I was at the top of the score, when we talked. He was like, I was just paying attention. I was just wondering how could Inko be so kind and yet be so terrifying all exactly at the same time on an automatic switch. As Jeff just says, oh, you should see me. I'm 10 times worse than that. And that's on a good day. As Baku was like, oh god. So, he just asks, how'd you, as Jeff just all of a sudden disappears from their sight. As then all of a sudden Bakugo just start to scratch at his arm that had a scar that said villain, I'm a villain, and that just he just starts scratching and it's just like, and then he just reappears. He goes like, that's how I made you go a little bit insane, so be lucky I didn't use it complete on you. All right, as Bakugo just says, yeah. I thought I was with my parents. I came home. Anyways, so yeah. So basically after that, they just leave. then like just starts talking about his friends he had back home and stuff, and just just keeping chatting. And he also told her about Sally, that he was with Nezu. He had to go to UA before 2 days before he has to go. So yeah, so basically the next couple of days, he just waits, and then he has to. It's the day where he has to go over to UA. So he just puts on basically a white shirt, black pants, regular shoes. I'm saying like Inko lets him like have piercings, so he has like piercings a little, just ears mostly. One, two in both ears. So yeah, and he just wears I want to say just like a bracelet, no, a watch, digital watch on him. So yeah, so and he just ties his hair in the freaking ponytail or something, just because he wanted to, and then he just starts walking all the way to UA. People do look at him like, they think, what the freak? Because he does have like that black eyeline around him. Like having like what you have when you have like a little bit of a burn on your skin. So if I said eyeline, I meant black outline. So yeah, around his eyes. So it's just like, oh, that's there. And yeah, so he gets over to UA. He stopped by his favorite store to get his iced tea. It's literally just a normal iced tea. Just want to point that out. So yeah, because he just walks into UA. Nezu was waiting for him, and then this is when I bet my he walks into UA. I mean, like he walks into the gates of UA, walking to the school. Nezu is waiting for him, and Nezu looks at his watch and he says, "30 minutes early." No, wait. As he looks again. He goes like, "Oh, 55 minutes early. He's an hour early." As hold on. I just put my fan on because my parents are talking, and both of them are really loud. You all know this, but anyways. So yeah, and Sally just running up and saying, "Jeff!" Hey, he goes, "Sally!" He just runs, and she hugs him on his leg, and he just like all of a sudden like kneeled down, and like she hugs him. He goes like, "I missed you, I miss you, I miss you." He says, "Me too." He basically breaks that. He goes like, "How have you been?" And, he's just checking her and says, "It looks like you've been eating well." And he just goes, "Chef." It's like, "Sorry." Father instinct kicked in. She goes, "I know." She says, "Did you find Lazari?" He goes, "No." "Where she is she?" He says out loud, and Sally was like, "We've been looking for her too. We don't know where she is." As Jeff just says, "Oh." And he just is clenching his fists. Because Jeff is having a flashback when he first met Lazari. She was scared to be around people at first. She met Jeff, and well, she basically it wasn't she wasn't like, talking to anyone. He says, and he goes like, I mean, he remembers, and then he just says, "Huh, weird kid." All right, and so he left. He went on a mission. When he came back, Lazar was just on the couch, just sitting there, and she just starts thinking. She was saying out loud, "Just a demon." Like calling herself that, because this is like right after. If you guys don't know Lazar's story, yeah, it's right after her mom's death. Just saying. So, Lazar, Jeff came over and goes like, "So you're a demon, huh?" "Well, I'm a psychopath. I'm a psychopath murderer. He goes on and kill people. We all kill people here. Just because you're a demon doesn't mean you're anything, kid. Besides, that just means you're more special." And he just rubs her hair and says, I'm gonna go take a nap. I got lost what to do at 8 o'clock." And so, Jeff goes takes his little nap. He got home around like 4. So Lazari was like shocked. So basically, she waited hours for him. He wakes up around like 8. He comes out. He makes breakfast, and well, he made breakfast for her too. Cinnamon was already up. He was like helping out Lazari. Cinnamon is mostly I see like in pictures that he's the one who mostly does it, but Jeff learned how to do it to take the weight off of him. And he's so like the weight of like responsibility. So she basically says, Jeff, can you please make Lazari breakfast? And he was like, sure. That's what he did. So Lazari ate. She said it was really good. He actually had a genuine smile on his face. Sally came over saying, Jeff. And he just, says, hey, Sally. You want something to eat too? She's, mm-hmm. So basically, he made her breakfast. He went back into the kitchen and made her breakfast. And, well, Lazari and Sally started talking. And Jeff smiled. And, Lazari, him, and Sally were just, becoming, Sally and Jeff were close friends. Lazari was becoming friends with both of them. Basically, though, Sally looked up to him like a big brother. And Lazari, after about, like, months later, Lazari made a lot of friends with everyone in the house. So, Jeff, went over and, like, gave her a hug. And let's say Lazari had a flashback, and she started breaking down, and, well, he found out what happened to Lazari and who her father was, and that did not change the fact of how he felt about her. No one, judged her. You can't choose your fathers, he said, to her, and she was like, okay. So, what happens was, Jeff started to, always be there for Lazari a lot more, even Sally. So Sandman was impressed, and then all of a sudden, she never told Jeff, but Jeff was being like more of a father to her than anyone she could ever had. So this was her mindset, and Jeff realized one day that he always kept making her breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Always tucked her in, taking care of her, playing with her, feeding her. Whenever like she got sick one time. And it's just like he took care of her, basically. He was being a father to her. This is how I wanted it, Jeff. I know this is technically, you're thinking, oh, I'm making Jeff, being soft. No. No, this is something that is going to be the worst thing everyone's ever gonna done to Lazari. Because someone is going to pay. And I'm just, telling you guys this now. Someone's gonna be saved by this psychopathic killer. And he's gonna treat them like his own child and adopt them. But Lazari is going to be just glad to see him, and he cares. Lazari, as you think now, he goes, I've been taking her just like a father. Oh God, I'm taking care of her like a father would. I'm, oh no. He went over to Slim and goes, Sunday, I'm taking care of Lazari like she's my own kid. What happened to me? And he goes, Jeff, it's alright. It's fine, You're not, going soft or weak here. I think it was like, no, when did this happen? How did this happen? As he says, well, she was treated really badly. You were treated fine, but then you got bullied and such. Parents didn't believe you, The backstory of Jeff. Whatever one you want to hear, think of. Yeah. Whatever. But so, Jeff was like, okay, I'm fine. So, Lazara came by back in, and let's just say they were human kids. She went to a park, and she played with human kids, and Toby came back. Well, not Toby. Maskey came back, and he was like, and Jeff all of a sudden his eyes were cold, and he basically just became the killer switch went on. So he was like, what happened? And Maskey just says some kids and their parents started some kids started teasing her. She fought back. The parents started coming over and over and said, she deserved it as such and blah, blah, blah. And Jeff was like, what did they look like? So Maskey gave him a detailed description, as in he goes, I'm going to be back in the next couple of hours. All right, Lazari, stay with Slendy. All right, and I'll bring back something, okay? Just, And so Jeff left, and Slendy had a sweat going down his face. Well, going down his, where his face should be, on the side of it, his forehead. As Maskey, sir, you're sweating. As Slendy said, I've never seen Jeff that angry or have that much hatred in his eyes. As basically Maskey goes, what do you mean? He goes, you could not feel the intensity to heart to kill those people. I don't think they're going to. No, I don't think they're even going to be in a whole piece. As Lazari just says, is he going to be okay? And Slendy says, of course he will. But they won't. As she goes, good. They deserve it. They all need to go to sleep. As then they sleep. Maskey and Slendy says, you learn from him, no! As then, basically, she just smiling, and Sally goes like, Lazari! Basically, they just start playing. So, 3 to 4 hours later, Jeff comes back. He has some toys, a stuffed animal, and some of her favorite foods. And basically, he's covered in blood. His hoodie is. And his face a little. And his hands. And he goes, I'm back. Lazari comes over and just, hugs him. So, he doesn't know she's, thinking of him as a father. But basically, he just says, he's on the way back. It doesn't matter. She's still, I think of her as a little sister, but she had no father figure, so, I take I'm just taking this responsibility. And yeah, so, he basically gives her stuff, and, well, they do what they usually would do. Play games with Slenderman, join in Maskey, Hoodie, Toby. And Toby's just... she liked Toby, which was the first. And Jeff just smiled and he thinks to himself, Toby ain't that bad of a guy. I mean, he's annoying. But as long as Larry's happy with him, happy to be friends with him, I'm okay with it. And, even, Eilish Jack. So, yeah. So, end of, flashback memories of him. As she goes, Sally knew what he thought. She just goes, it's alright. It's okay, Jeff. We'll find her. He goes yeah. As Nezu, comes over, he goes I'm sorry to ruin this reunion of yours. But I would like to talk to you in my office, please. He was sure thing, Nezu. This is, tea, by the way. He was I know. It says on the label. He was yeah. Okay, just wanted to make sure. Some kid thought one time because of the design of the bottle. He's yes, I can see why. So, Nezu and him walks in the office. They chat a little bit. When they get into his office, he goes, so, as there's a whole stack of papers on his office table. It was that's how many you have killed. And then there's a separate stack of papers. Basically, it's right side kills, left side saves. He says, you have saved more lives than you have killed. Surprisingly, for your record so far. He goes, what can I say? And, he sits down. Sally basically, goes over, sitting down in the kitty chair with crayons and a book. He goes, so you've been treating Sally good? Sally okay? He goes, of course. She still is a child. Her heartbeat and, everything has been alright. And Jeff goes, heartbeat? Which Ned says, is that a problem? He was yeah, she's dead. She ain't supposed to have a heartbeat. I mean, Slenderman brought her back to life and all, but still, she had no heartbeat. And Sally was oh, like you, when I came here, my body was changed, but I only gained a quirk. I don't die, she says. Basically, I'm somewhat immortal, so I won't die. I mean, I can't age here. And then he realized, he was like, wait a minute, you're growing up. What the heck? I missed you growing up. Darn it! Okay, gotta buy you presents. She goes, stop being like a brother. He was like, but I am technically a brother to you. You call me big brother sometimes. When we're back in our world, she goes, I know, but still. He was like, fine. And then Nezuko was like, wait, this is supposed to be a psychopathic killer. And him talking to a little girl who technically is also a killer. Acting like this is nothing. And why do I find this hilarious? He's gonna talk to, like, basically, like, he's basically the little kid, she's the adult. He's thinking, he just chuckles. And then he goes, wait, how are you so young still? I don't really know what Sally's age was. I think it was like, I'm saying like it was like 7. So she's like only like 10 years old now. She goes, oh, just because I'm immortal, my aging is very slow. So I will basically be, by the time when you're 30, I will be 13. Well, 20. As Jeff says, remember I became immortal too at the age of 16? That probably will happen to me too. Well, I mean, you became immortal because of, you died and you just brought back your soul, but your body would never age. And then me, I was given his blood, and then they experimented on it and made sure I could become immortal. Because that was a good asset to the group. As Lizzie goes, oh, so how many people have you? He says, I lost track after 27,000 semi-hundred ago. He goes, well, alright. I've witnessed Sally has, killed a couple of people too. She says she learned it from the best. As he goes, he just puts up his thumb to her Sally, and she just puts her thumb, like, thumbs up to each other. As he goes, and she explained what you've done. Seeing that you've basically been going after criminals and not have gone after civilians, it's still against the law, but since you want to become a hero, we could just make you a hero that is killing villains. The worst of the worst. As he goes, yeah, like human traffickers, people that, bigger villains that have killed thousands of or hundreds of people that you guys won't put down, and, well, anyone who in general who has met a certain criteria that deserves a death penalty. As Nezuko goes like, yes, we'll have that. So, can I ask you, what about this call from a church? He goes, oh, Jeff says, that one. Yeah, that one was a, more like, guy ran into the church. Then, well, it was an abandoned one, so, unfortunately, it was a really nice one, too. And so, basically, he just, wait, how was a freaking church in Japan anyways? And basically Nezu says, oh, it was like a temple / shrine, but, someone designed it after, in basically not England, in basically America style of church, and try to bring the, Christianity over, and it didn't work so out. I mean, some people joined, but it wasn't enough to keep it open. It was unfortunate. It was a really nice one too. It's like, yeah. So, anyways, he went in there, and, well, technically he had a hostage. That's the reason why I went after him. And yeah, so I was able to get in there real easily without him ever noticing and clean his head off. Saving the person that he had a hostage. So I was like, oh, so that's why O'Brien Church had a body in it. Yeah, Is that all? He was like, there's a lot of cases that are gonna go unnoticed. Do you mind, though, you have been here for. You started when you were 5, right? It was, yeah. I was, wow, that is quite remarkable for having over 20 already, like 20,000 kills under your belt. 20,021 kills. He goes, did you even have to correct me? He was like, yeah. I mean, it's what I do, so I have to take pride in what I do. That's true, but still. He goes, fine, I'll slow down on my killing sprees. I've just been looking for someone too. He goes, yes, Lazari, I will help you out with that. And also, are you be wearing a uniform or just whatever you wear? Can I just wear the jacket, not the whole entire tie and everything? She goes, sure. Earrings, piercings. He has a whole bunch of questions, and Nezus just says, it's fine. Also, your quirk, you know, it says killer? I did not remember the quirk name I gave. Let's just say, I think I gave it killer or psycho. Um, let's just say it was killer. Yeah, I'm just saying his quirk name was killer, but he says slash psycho. So it's very hard. I changed it from the original name, and it just kept on going back and forth. I couldn't decide, so I just called it killer and psycho. So yeah. He goes, okay. Anyways, that's all I wanted to say. Also, do all of the teachers in UA know about this? Yes. You remember, well, as then, a couple of heroes walk in, along with Eraserhead. Well, Aizawa. As then Jet looks back and he goes like, oh, those heroes. Yeah, I remember all of them. I mean, I freaking threw a knife at one of them, cut in their cheek a little. Sorry about that. Vlad? Blood? Whatever. Another one, I basically gave them the slip in the alleyway. What Scarf Guy he points to. I remember that one. It was funny the way you looked. um, oh yeah, that, well, what's her name? Midnight? Yeah, I remember you. You try to use your pheromone, whatever, quirk on me. Well, he goes, I don't really know the name of it. Well, this is me. I don't know the name of it, but just I know it's a pheromone that, she can produce to, control people. So, it was like, yeah, with your pheromone quirk. It's very interesting. I mean, I analyzed all of them. I knew the weaknesses. I could have just, as he says, but I didn't. Because I don't kill heroes. As says, but what about those? Like, those were corrupted. They weren't heroes. Along with the cops. Every place has a corrupt cop or two. In this case, Japan had like about 27 corrupt cops, as you all know, including heroes. There's a lot more heroes than cops out there, so I've been just doing my duty, helping out people, getting them free from prison. As always says, by killing them and planting the evidence. He goes, yeah, I mean, truthfully, you got the problem with that? He was like, yes, we're heroes, and you're trying to be a hero, and yet you're a killer. He's like, I mean, can you guys really? As in all of a sudden, he just teleports, and then he's right in front of Aizawa with a knife. He goes, stop me, and it's like right at his neck. As Aizawa goes like, I can erase your quirk. And he goes, try me, I dare you. As all of a sudden Aizawa does activate, and he goes, huh, the knife is still here. And teleports, and he goes, that's gone. That's still here. Insanity, and then just, oh, madness is gone. As I was like, what? It was, well, my quirk is more than one. It has multiple properties. So let us say it's a 5 quirk merged into one thing. Okay? As Aizawa goes like, so that means no matter what you do, I always gonna escape from you guys. And then he just sees Snipe. He was like, "Oh, you're the one who shot me in my shoulder." As then Snipe says, "Yeah, and you threw a knife at me. How were you able to hit me from 3 rooftops away?" He goes, easy. I've done it around 3 times already. Well, no, I've done it around 20 times in my life where someone ran and I just had a knife and I just chuck it. It always hit them somehow. And Snipe goes, "Oh, you got really good aim because you got me in the same shoulder that I shot you in." He goes, "Yeah. Did it heal?" He was like, "Yeah, it wasn't that deep. The bullet went all the way through it. It healed in a couple of minutes, so we're good." As you know, they just like kind of like shake hands, say sorry about that. They both said it's no problem. Which everyone's shocked. As I was like, "What?" Oh my! Walks in and he goes like, "Sorry, I'm late." And then he sees, well, Jeff. He was like, You're the one who nearly tried to kill that sludge villain that basically, he tried to take my body." He says, "Give me your body, kid." As he imitates him saying, "Yes." "And you're trying to become a hero?" He was like, "Yeah, and I can tell you tried to kill somebody. And by the way, you didn't have the guts to do it right." Because what? It was, do you know how much force it would take just to smash someone's head in with a bare fist? It was like, huh? He was, yeah. I mean, by my standpoint, let me see. As you know, he checks out his fist. He goes like, yeah. I can tell when someone thinks they killed somebody. Turns out they never did it right. So he tried to kill All Might. All Might goes like, the greatest villain of all time, all for one. He's like, oh, so that's what these guys are talking about him. Yeah, I found out a few things. He's still alive. You done effed up. You didn't do it right. Hold on. Alright, back. So yeah, as then All Might goes like, wait, he's still alive? No. And he goes, yeah. I mean, you should have. I mean, I heard that you went for the head. As he points like his forehead and like the area, like the frontal part. He goes like, you should have went more for the face. The more impact on the face, basically the head would go in more, and it would have killed him no matter what. And then he goes, oh my god, he goes, I'm a psychopathic killer. I know my stuff, All Might. I mean, it ain't my first time I punched somebody to death. My bare fist. So, I mean, after, you get stabbed one time, then kicked in the side of that stab wound, and then get thrown off a building into another into basically a metal pole that's sticking out of the ground from construction, you get that out of you. You just finally had enough, and you can't use your knives. You just use your bare hands. Yeah, that's what happened. Anyways, so, is that all? As in, like, as I says, is that alcohol? He goes, no, it's freaking iced tea. Read the label. As Jeff just holds it up and is like, Isaiah goes like, okay. He was like, but I do drink. I stopped though. I'm technically quitting. As Sally is in shock, she goes, so you're not gonna be drinking no more? He was like, yeah, I mean, technically I am. I've been not drinking for technically 8 to 9 years. My mom won't let me. I mean, she'll let me do this stuff, what I do, as he points to the papers of kill pile, but she won't let me drink until I am immortal again. So right when I'm 16 years old, I should be. Well, that's if. If not, then I have to wait to the legal age. I promised her. And Sally goes, oh, so that's why. He goes, yeah, I'm always keeping my promises, Sally. Just good. You're a really, really funny one, though. He's like, he goes, yeah, let's not talk about it. And she goes, remember that time when you actually made a slingshot out of toothpicks with glue and basically using a broken toothbrush as the support, to have those two picks around, and then somehow in some way you were able to launch something that was that couldn't handle, like the slingshot couldn't handle. It was like, yeah, yeah, I remember that. I hit Slender Man. I got in trouble. She laughed and said that was funny. I was like, that was horrible. And so Nezza just says, all right. That's all I wanted to say to you and ask you questions. So most of these have been just villains. He goes, yeah. I mean, I found evidence. I gave you it. Also, you do know there were some witnesses, like there were some people that were basically the victims of these so-called heroes, right? As in, All Might. This he goes like, what? He goes, yeah. Some heroes use their power to do stuff that ain't good, bad stuff. As Allah says, how do we not know you're just faking? As then he goes, okay, Razorhead, shut it. I don't care what you say. You're irrelevant since you don't have like good trust issues. These guys on the other hand do, especially All Might. He's a sucker sometimes. What I heard. Actually, no. Yeah, you look like a sucker who fall for almost anything. And it was like, and so I'm just gonna go. Sally, if you want, you have a phone. She goes, mm-hmm. He takes out his phone. He writes down his number. He gives it to her. She goes, call me or text if you need anything. I'll come by and play, and I'll even, come over with my mom, and you get to meet her. She's like, I can't wait till I meet your mom. Is she really nice, unlike your, old one? And he goes, yeah, she is. She really is nice. As Nezu never told anyone about Jeff's past. Only Sally, because Sally told him, and he has not told anyone. He goes, Jeff, Nezu, Jeff, may I tell them about your past? As he looks at Sally, she says, sorry, and then he just pats her on the head and goes, thanks, Sal, you helped out. I did. He was like, yeah, you can. I don't mind, but I'm going. And so, Jeff leaves and walks out. Before he does, he looks at Nezu. He goes like, is Sally gonna be in the school? He goes, of course. She'll be coming to class 1A, and you'll be able to see her all the time. He just smiles and says, thanks. And so, after that, all the heroes are now teachers in UA, especially Aizawa, because he knows he's gonna be in his class. He goes like, what about his past? As then he goes, alright, well, let me explain this to you all. Jeffrey Woods was a normal boy at first. Typical boy, moved into a neighborhood. Was a good kid, him and his brother. And so they moved. Because of these bullies who thought they were better than them in some way or form. Truly, they had no quirks, which everyone's in shock. And he goes, you do not know this, but this takes place in another reality altogether, where there are no quirks, no powers, nothing. As Sally goes, what? And Sally goes, it's true, but there are always supernatural beings. Stuff that you go bump in the night that scares you, but you die instead, basically. As in, sorry about that, I'm trying to just do like a little girl, not a little girl, I'm just trying to make my voice soft, I guess, I don't know. I'm still not awake. I forgot to mention that. I have not slept properly in 2 days, staying up, did homework, Tuesday night into Wednesday morning, stayed up till 6, slept all the way to 12 something tonight. Last night I was trying to go to bed, couldn't, stay up to 5, fell asleep, woke up at 11 something. So yeah. But anyways, so Nezu says, "May I continue?" Sally. She goes, "Sorry, Nezu." And so Nezu starts explaining about Randy, his friends, and how what they did to Jeff, about his brother, about his mother not caring, and then what Jeff did to him after the whole entire incident with the fire, burning alive thing, and basically doing what he did to his mouth, and how the black ring around his eyes was because he burned off his eyelids. But in all reality, that's what everyone thinks. But he just took a knife, heated it up real hot, and cut them off. But he was still able to blink, just not very good. So he learned how to always have his eyes awake, open, because he couldn't really blink anymore. So he didn't see the point. His body just didn't see the point of it. So yeah, and how Jeff the Killer was made, basically, which oh my god. That's horrible. Everyone, kind of feels bad, but Aizawa goes like, no offense to, Aizawa met Sally, but he says, no offense, Sally. He probably just lied. He goes, oh, he never told me. He didn't tell anyone. Slenderman did. It was Slenderman. As, Sally basically had a comic book. There was, some free, blank pages as she drew Slenderman. As he goes, what the? Everyone has a face. He goes, nope, not Slendy. Basically he's like a father to, everyone who he takes in. We just work for him. He has us go out and kill people. Well, me, I just stay sometimes. As long as I have someone to protect, with me. And it was always mostly Jeff, so I killed a couple of people before, and I learned from him. I was shocked by this as, Midnight says, how can a adorable little thing like you go out and kill people? And he was like, I was dead, and it wasn't my first time. As Nezu knows Sally's backstory, he just says, everyone, Sally here was not alive before she came here. Her quirk, immortality, prevents her from aging at a normal pace. Her lifespan is slow. Her aging process is slow. Her lifespan is long. It's because she was already dead. As everyone's in shock, and All Might goes like, but Nezu, are you sure about this? So he was like, I had somebody to look into her memories. You know what happens to that person, All Might? He nods, no. They broke down crying. They said that man deserved it, and that Sally was on in the right, and that the family she was living with was a very good one. Killers, but a family. What would you do with someone that died and came back to life because of a man with no face? Tall, supernatural being. As All Might doesn't say nothing. As Aizawa just says, so what? We're just gonna let a killer roam the streets who kills villains say civilians? And act like it's normal? As Aizawa says, as Nezu says, look at all these kills. Imagine if these were all civilians. Heroes. Sally told me he does not care who they are. He would hunt them down and kill them. As I was, just glaring. Not glaring, but, just looking at him. And says, we're lucky he chose to become a hero. Just to look for somebody. Without that, we may have the world's greatest villain that cannot be stopped. So, I would recommend you to not antagonize him or get him angry, Aizawa. Is that clear? As Aizawa nods. And All Might just asks, how many people lived with this Slender Man? As Sally goes, about maybe some my number. As he goes, okay, where? In the woods, in a mansion. As everyone's confused. Nezza just says, just roll with it. That's what I've been doing all these years. And it's been quite fun. I mean, you should have seen them earlier. It was quite entertaining how they were acting. Jeff was acting like the little kid, while Sally was acting like the adult. As everyone just starts to laugh besides, well, Eraserhead. So yeah, he just says, I'm gonna go to bed. I'm gonna go to sleep. And yeah, that's what happens. So while this was happening, Jeff walked out, and yeah, he got home. 2 days later, 2 days later, he's just wearing a normal shirt. No, he's just wearing a shirt that he likes of a band. No, not a band, of an anime that's really good, and he became a weeb. He was like, I can't believe I actually got into anime and video games. Well, I was always into video games, but man, Ben will like these. So, he leaves, he says bye to his mom, and yeah, so, he gets to UA, he gets in, he finds class 1A, he gets to UA, he did stop by a store with the iced tea. He got addicted to that taste of the iced tea. It was like really good, better than any type of tea he's ever tasted. So yeah, and when he gets there, people were wondering what the. He goes, "Hey, what are you drinking?" He goes, "Iced tea." He was like, "Really?" He was like, "Yeah, it's just a normal Tuesday to me." He goes, "But it's Monday." He was like, "So?" He just takes the drink, closes the cap and takes the, after taking a drink, he just closes the cap and just walks away. Close the, the lid of it. So my brain's not working right. So yeah, and he was like, weird. Alright. So yeah, so he gets to class 1A. He gets in there. Sally's there. She's like saying, Jeff! She runs up and hugs him. He pats her on the head and he goes like, so, you're gonna be here to learn too? She says, I'm gonna be here to, be beside you, just in case. He goes like, in case of what? I start going on a murder rampage? She goes, He goes, Sally, we both know. You can't stop me. She goes, I can. He goes, how? Easy. I won't. Well, as he goes, wait, that one weakness he has. Let's just say Sally got him into this type of food. No, she learned how to make cookies, and for some reason they always take really good to Jeff. Everyone else was like shocked because they didn't like it, and he was like, "Wait, no, not, you won't give me your cookies." She goes, He goes, "You monster! How dare you? After everything I've done for you." He goes, "Well, you can't kill people. Remember?" He was like, "I know, I won't. I made a promise." She just starts chuckling, but still. Aizawa heard this and he was like, what the freak? How is he? You know what? This is already normal for me. And actually, this is quite entertaining. As in, he just says popcorn. He was like, drama. Yes. And then, they just started chuckling. And then Jeff just, doing some, weird things. And Aizawa just laughing. He was like, maybe this kid ain't so bad. And then he talks about, and then Sally goes, has everyone come by and found you? He goes, no. No others have come by yet. And as I was like, oh, the others. So the portal, they didn't fix it yet. He was like, nope. I don't know, Sally. Wherever they come, they'll come. But I'm hoping it's not Jane. She goes, why? She's so pretty. It was like, she tries to kill me. And stab me. I mean, to be fair, what I did to her parents, and did to her, it is understandable. She goes, yeah, but she is pretty though. He goes, well, we're lucky that her hair grew back. She's happy about that. I found a way to help her, but she still hates me for what I did to her parents. And, well, after I healed her, she was not mad, but whatever. So just laughs and says, you really have changed a lot. He goes, huh? What do you mean? She goes, well, you're not all depressed. Which Jeff goes, depressed? How? She goes, But you did. You know, Jeff just says, yeah. But I'm lucky he was still alive, but, he hates me. The only family I ever had hates me. I mean, it's understandable what I did. Sally just says, so, can I come by and meet your mom? He just smiles and, says, of course. So a lot of people came in, Sally meets Bakugo and he goes, huh? Who's this kid? And then Jeff says, this kid is my little sister. He goes, wait, what? He goes, well, not really. Treat her like a little sister. So, basically, if you make fun of her anyway, oh, you're going to be thrown out that window, Pomeranian. And I am making sure you can't use your quirk. As Bakugo says, alright. As Ito says, that's very disrespectful, blah, 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 blah. And then he says, shut it, Four Eyes, or I'll shove something in your mouth and make you stop. He was like, what? Like, what? He was like, I have a bottle. I mean, of course you're going to take it back out of your mouth, but still, if you suck in peace and quiet, it will be a blessing. So shut it. And then Ito goes like, and Sally says, yeah, Four Eyes, shut it. As Bakugo was like, does she learn from you? He goes, I am technically her brother. Well, treat her like a brother, so of course she learned from me. As he goes, what else has she learned from you? Bakugo asks. He goes like, you don't want to know. You don't want to know. Then Uraraka comes in and says, oh, thank you for saving me and all that. And Jeff says, sure, it's not like I was doing it for fun. Of course I saved you for a reason. And Sally goes like, Jeff, you just did it because you said why not. Probably. He was like, yeah, I did. I mean, I don't intentionally try to save people. I just do it because of my own free will. It's not like I've been liking it or anything. Look, you just definitely thinking it is kind of fun to see how when people react when I save them. So I guess I do like saving people a little bit. Not gonna lie. So yeah, so after everyone's coming in, Mina saw Jeff and she was like, even Kirishima, he was like, whoa man, your face looks, what happened to you? I was like, oh, I had this already, my quirk, psycho. So it turns me it makes me look like a psycho. Well, killer or slash psycho, that's what my quirk name's called. He was like, whoa, that's kind of manly how your quirk did that to you. He was like, yeah, I know. And he basically, let's just say Momo walked in and Ida did not notice at the time, but then right when Momo walked in, he says, wait, why are you not wearing the tie or the normal school uniform outfit? He was like, oh, I talked to Nezu. He let me wear it. Well, he also let me have my piercings on, so freak off, Four Eyes. As Baku just laughs at that. Momo was like, what the? She sees him. She was, you, and he was like, me? Huh? Do I know you? She goes, you're the one who saved me all those years ago. He goes, wait, what? Wait, what's your name? She goes, Momo Yarozu? Yarozu. Nope, doesn't ring a bell. I mean, I killed plenty of people by now, and I saved a lot of people, so doesn't ring a bell at all. As Ida and everyone in the room is shocked, even Bakugo. And then, basically, this is when he's just saying, I want to see how this is. And Bakugo says, wait. You kill people? And you have the officers know about this? He goes, yeah. Well, I mean, they should. Nezu pieced it together and probably kept it a secret. As just then, a police officer walks in. Well, Nezu is the chief of police, and, Nezu, as Aizawa gets up, he was like, Nezu, chief of police. He was like, as basically Jeff goes like, dog, want, pet. And just smiley. As then his head goes down, as everyone's wondering, he goes like, as then he, basically the chief of police is looking at him, he goes like, so this is the man who's been killing villains and criminal scum that, well, no, not criminal scum, criminals that have done things that are not savory, like human trafficking. As it says, I thought it was about time you met him. I mean, I did not want to alarm him to make him think he had to skip town and all. As then, well, the police chief walks up to him and goes like, as Ida says, yes, he's gonna be arrested. As Imabaki was like, so this guy thought, so the number one guy who got, the best on the entrance exam is gonna get arrested. That means I'm number one now. As in the chief police basically just says, I not condone you killing, but off the record, thank you. As he bows to him, as Jeff is shocked and Sally just like smiles, and he goes, wait, what? He goes, you saved my daughter along with my niece a long time ago. I thank you for that. And you have been doing a lot of this service to, well, the state of Japan. So, officially, we're not giving you this. But, as in, basically, let's just say, the mayor made something for Jeff, as the chief of police was supposed to give it to him. As basically, it's a medal of, for helping out. Saying, like, thank you for keeping the streets safe. And you always know where to find criminals. So, unofficially, the mayor's not thinking of neither do I. I mean, officially, we don't. Unofficially, we do. So wait, I'm not arrested? He was like, no. Actually, the mayor's actually right now giving a conference. As then, boom. Like Nezu had a remote. TV comes down from the ceiling. As Aizawa goes like, wait, what? As Nezu says, oh, I talked to, well, not the mayor, but the governor of Japan about this. And so, the governor's on the news. He was like, hello there, everyone. You all, basically such or such name. I would just like to say this. The person who's been helping out Japan for all these years and have saved multiple people. We have gathered information and how these people were treated, and when he came and had their lives afterwards, we decided to do this. This may be a shock to all of you, but whoever this man is, we are giving him permission to do what he does. So that way, he could not be arrested. If he wants to become a hero, he is allowed to. This is the very first hero that we are going to have that will be killing criminals that deserve it. So all of you villains out there who are watching this, there will be a hero that will come and find you and kill you. You are only the worst of the worst that would die by his hands. And the ones who deserve it too. The small fries are, basically will be safe, he said. He says, but the ones who are not that known, who have not done nothing but rob banks and such, would not die by this man's hands. And it's as Jeff, Sally can just see him just smile, like Jeff smiling, and he's looking at Nezu this whole entire time. He goes like, "You clever animal." Well, not animal person. He was animal that was experimented on and turned into talking to like a human. And my intelligence is very smart. I'm the smartest person on the world. So, animal-like person, you could say. He's like, all right, animal-like person. You did it. You basically made the very first, if I pass the school, the very first hero that's gonna kill villains. And he goes, Now the villains will know, and they will basically be more afraid to be out. We're kind of using you also as a deterrent, a defense on Hero Society. He goes, yeah. As Aizawa basically, got up and see, he was like, and he looks at him, he goes like, but aren't more villains now going to be in the more shadows? As Jeff just laughs, he was like, I've been doing this for years. I know how the underground works. I know every little deep, dark nook and cranny of this city. No villain's gonna come here and be thinking they can escape me. Basically, low-life criminals, they're gonna be safe. which basically Nezu has stated, yes, I did not want to say this to you, Aizawa, because it was not the issue. The lower ranking criminals, the ones who have just been robbing banks at night and such, have been only knocked out and handcuffed and tied up. Not dead. As Aida says, but sir, why are we allowing a criminal, a murderer, a murderer here in the school? As doesn't acknowledge him, he just says, no, Jeff, please, understand. Don't, don't do anything that would have you be arrested now. He was like, of course. Oh, thanks, Nezu. There's no problem. And so, after he leaves, police chief says that is basically the badge is, as he looks, he was like, huh, wait. Jeff looks closer. He was like, okay, this is very clever. A badge that states that I'm the hero that kills. Cool, thanks. This is no problem. And so, yeah, they leave. Everyone's just looking at Jeff. Bakugo's looking at him, was like, what the heck? Ida's like, how? And then Aizawa says, alright, everyone, that was eventful. Now, get outside and just start doing I can't talk right now. Just go, put on these, and get outside. As Jeff just, teleports, grabs the thing, teleports to the door. Sally goes over to Aizawa, and he goes, Aizawa, can we go outside now? And, Aizawa just says, sure. And then Jeff just says, he knew the razor could be so good with kids. As everyone's going like, what? As, Aizawa just says, shut it. Jeff just shrugs and says, see everyone. So, yeah. So, we're going to skip to, the room. The changing room, because Mineta is in this one. Mineta, after everyone gets inside, changing, Jeff's just about to put on his, shirt. He has been training his body, so he does have muscle, lean. And Kirishima goes, wow, I didn't, he was suspecting me to have this. Yeah. Also, what the? As, Kirishima can expect, he goes, are those scars? Who did that? He goes, these are a long time ago. Don't worry about it. But he goes, no. How did you? He goes, let's just say I was burned alive at one point in my life. And this is in my, leather-like gray skin is, or pale skin, gray or pale, I can never tell because some pictures there was it was hard for me to tell at first. So I'm going to say pale like skin is because of what happened. Was aftermath of that with bleach and alcohol and fire. As Kirishima was like, what? As all the guys heard this. Jiro even heard this, and she's horrified. And Jeff just says, well, put the slit in my mouth and the ring around my eyes. That was because of fire. I kind of burnt my eyelids with a knife. Cut off my eyelids. And the knife thing was, the smile in my mouth was because of also me carving it into my own face. As Bakugo was going what? But what the? As Jeff says, oh, this wasn't when I was here. No, this was when I was back in, way back home. Way back. I was home. As, no one understands. So, but he goes, but, what do you mean? You're supposed to be like everyone else here, he goes, right? Kirishima just says, he goes like, no, I'm not like everyone else. I'm different. As he says, yes, a murderer. He goes, no. I'm not. Just that. I'm Jeff the Killer. And you are nothing to me. Also, Four Eyes. You never experienced the pain I went through. So, don't ever question me about my past. As he glares at Ida, and Ida just feels all this bloodlust on him, so he goes like, it was, it, it, he's, and then he knows, like, Mineta. So he puts on a shirt, he summons out a knife. As everyone's shocked, as Mineta just saying, like, does what he says. As Jeff goes, hey, how are ya? As he goes, hey, then all of a sudden a knife is like right in front of Mineta's face. Like it's into the wall. He goes like, so, you like to do, well, peeping on girls, huh? Well, guess what, you little great piece of crap. You do that again, you're not gonna have anything to even say to a girl, or even talk. Because, well, you'll be dead. Alright. And so, if you ever decide to peep on any girl and I find out that you did, you'll be winding up in the ground. Got it. Esmeralda nods, and he says, now go get changed and get the freak out of here. Got it, you little piece of grape crap. As Jeff, the knife just disappeared, Jeff just leaves. Which, Jiro was surprised. And she told the girls, even about Jeff being burned alive at one point. Everyone was shocked by this. Peter says, what's that? How did this happen? She just says, he said way back home. As nobody knows. So, as Jeff comes out, he looks pissed. Sally just asks, was there somebody in there that pissed you off? And he was like, yeah, this little grape boy. I mean, I know what way I was. I always said it in words, but that. As Sally goes, what do you mean? And it's a freaking guy with grapes, well, balls on his head, peeping on girls. So I told him I'd kill him if he ever did it again. Aizawa just says, smiles and says, I like you now. He goes, huh? I mean, I like you a little bit more than what I did. Okay, Aizawa, I get it. Yeah, same here. So, Quirk, just Tyson out of Quirks. He goes, yeah. What? I need to go 100%. He goes, yeah. But I am going to do a reference towards a show I watched at one point. He goes, huh? He goes, yeah, don't worry. You'll see it. And so everyone comes out. They tell, like, as I always says, all right, this is going to test out your quirks and see what you're made of, everyone. Sally just says, guys, do your best. As, everyone's just going to, like, she said, like, the girls are saying, oh my gosh, she's so cute. And, like, the guys are saying, like, wow. So the guys look at him and go, like, how do you know her? How is she your sister? Technically. He goes, oh, we lived together and I took care of her like a brother. That's how. Kaminari goes like, huh. Wow, man. You do look kind of scary. A little. He goes, trust me, when I'm covered in a white hoodie, covered in blood, with a knife, just coming down the street, you guys can't see me and you can just hear my voice echoing. Tell me about that during the middle of the night. As curious as as Kaminari thinks of that, it was not kind of as scary. Yeah. Also, you're drunk. And Kaminari goes, oh yeah, then that's definitely the worst thing I could ever imagine. Yeah. So, alright, as as always says, alright, everyone. Okay, so first place, come up here and just throw the ball, Jeffrey Midoriya. And he just walks up as he throws him the ball. He goes like, alright, shows what you got. Use your quirk. Also, what was the last time you threw that you got? He goes, 90 meters. Which kind of surprised him. He goes like, huh? He goes, yeah, I didn't use my quirk at all. I just got really mad and just threw it. Also, I was really tired that day. That's how he goes like, oh, don't tell me when you get tired, you still have that problem when you get tired, somehow you have a little bit more strength in you. He goes, yeah. As I goes like, huh? Wait, oh. Okay, first off, how much sleep do you get? Probably every week. I mean, I'll stay up for 5 days of straight without sleep. As then Baka goes, wait, what? That means all the time during the school you were staying up straight, staying up all night long, doing what I do, and then come to school the next day without any sleep? Yeah, I sleep all day on Saturday though. So Aizawa goes like, I thought I was bad, kid. How are you able to survive? No human body's supposed to do that. He goes, I've been doing it for years. My body's used to it. And Aizawa says that is true. So he goes, all right. Besides the point, throw the ball with your cork. So all of a sudden, like energy starting to go around the ball. He goes like, all right, as he just throws the ball, chucking it as fast as as far as he can, as it is going pretty far. As then all of a sudden, he basically has he's holding out his hand, his right hand, and then his left hand, like left hand's going around his wrist, and so suddenly he's basically charging up. He's taking an aim, but the ball isn't following it. And then he says, "Spirit gun!" And then he just shoots it out. And all of a sudden, it's like basically a beam of of insanity, but a red beam of light. Not beam. It's more like a circle that grew and it's like going straight and with a beam following it, basically being pushed out. And it did like make him go back a little bit. And he just goes, thinks to himself, "Yes, I did it!" And so the ball of energy, well, the ball such a beam of energy going straight towards this, going straight towards the ball, hits it and sending it even flying even more, pushing it. As basically Jeff got about 1,765 meters. As everyone's shocked by this, as Aizawa goes like, how? It was I saw this in an anime one time. So I did it. And so after that, everything goes everything goes somewhat similar to like how it was in canon with my hero. But with Jeff a little bit, be able to teleport and stuff, being Ida, jumping pretty far, but then teleporting mid-air and such. Yeah, Jeff became at least second or first in some of them. So yeah, that was it. Um, People are wondering how many quirks does he have? He goes, just one that has multiple properties to it. Pretty amazing. As they like, yeah. And so after that, he came in first place. Baka was just shocked. Everyone was in shock. So yeah. And I'm gonna save the hero versus villains part for next time. Alright, everyone? So yeah, so basically after that, as always says, alright everyone, go home in 2 days. Be prepared for something. So yeah, so basically Jeff goes home, he brought Sally, Nezu came with, and then Nezu met Inko. They talk and chat about how Jeff is. Jeff already showed excellent on his new scores for Zawa's class. Oh, Mineta, and basically that Mineta also got kicked off. I forgot to mention, Mineta got kicked out. He kicked someone out. Everyone knew that he was going to. I forgot to mention that. He said he was going to do that. So yeah, Mineta got kicked off, and he basically said to Aizawa, "All right, thanks. I'll take this and learn from it." Basically, which surprised Jeff. So, I have a little bit of backtrack I'm doing. So basically, Jeff was like, "Hey, great boy, huh? Why? You're like the person who's going to cry and all. So why are you? I knew I was gonna get kicked out of UA, truthfully. So, I just chose to do what I did, and I did not expect you to be here. What do you mean, me? You don't remember me, but you saved my life. And I'll just try to. I'll try my best to be something else. Now, he goes, you better not be a villain then. He goes, no. I'm gonna still try to be a hero. just not basically a hero, maybe like a rescue hero or something. I don't know. In our school, and this is when Nezu says, yes, you could do that, or I could give you a chance. Your quirk is technically very good for capturing and trapping villains. So, how about this? You're expelled from the hero course, but you are pretty smart as your grades. Well, as basically your intelligence shows from the entrance exam. So how about you go into general studies? And maybe even go into the support course and learn how to use your quirk in multiple ways and as hero items or capture heroes. As he just says, okay, thank you, Principal Nezu. It's no problem. And yeah, so yeah, now we're back to what I was saying. So Nezu talking to Inko. She met Sally. She basically like adores her, and she basically likes having her around. And Nezu can see this, so he just says, well, she does miss Jeff. So how about this? I have a place on campus where you two can live, and you and Jeff could live, and basically, well, campus. By I say on campus, I mean near campus, right next to my house, because there's one over. So you two, so that way Sally and can always come over and visit. In which Jeff and Inko are shot, and they say yes. So yeah, so basically, they basically he called up Aizawa saying Jeffrey Midoriya is not going to be in school. Something like he's going to be moving, so he has to stay and help. Which Aizawa goes like, okay, so yeah. So after that, the next day, Nezu had some heroes like helping, well, some people that could help with moving, and Jeff just helping out too, because the house was already bought by Nezu. So yeah, and they got into their new house, which is very, very better than their apartment. So, yep. Alright, yeah. So that's it, everyone. Jeff and Ingo got a new house, a new place to live. Alright, well, I hope you guys enjoyed this what if. Tonight I may make another video. I just had to get some pictures for it. For the thumbnail. It may be a Naruto Neglected. And I may be combining two different animes into it. But two anime characters are going to be with Naruto, train him, but it's going to be called Naruto Neglected. And Naruto is going to be different. He's not going to be Naruto that we know. It's basically, how can I say this? Kurama does something. Naruto's technically Kurama. But Kurama still is still inside. I'll explain more on that later. So, hope you guys have a nice day, night, wherever you are. Bye. This video is coming out when I am basically at work. Bye, everyone.